Wednesday, July 20th, 2016. Monaco 64 here, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. I'd like to touch upon a few subjects today, the markets, geopolitics, politics. Um, Last Friday, we had this coup attempt in Turkey. President Erdogan was able to thwart the coup, and he's back in power. He was on vacation somewhere in Turkey. And like to talk also about the Olympics, Russia, the US, and NATO, and the markets a little bit as well. So I'll start out with, let's see here. Yeah, an article that I've seen on whatdoesitmean.com. And I know whatdoesitmean.com, they come up with some pretty outrageous and outlandish articles, even for people who, in the alternative media, I think sometimes they're a bit kooky. But I looked at it this morning, and I have to say it's quite interesting. They have an article from July 17th, and it says, the headline, Turkish leader praises Putin for saving his life, but vows revenge on Obama. So that's in relation to the attempted coup d'etat last Friday in Turkey. And they put a link to one of their articles from December last year. And that's why I'm talking about this, because they've actually wrote on the 2nd of December last year, and the headline of the article is, Putin orders doomsday plane into air after military warns U.S.-Turkey plot is beyond staggering. So the report reads, the Ministry of Defense, that's the Russian Ministry of Defense, is reporting today that President Putin has ordered the Federation's Ilyushin-80 giant command and control aircraft designated for use during nuclear war, otherwise known as the Doomsday Plane, to prepare for worldwide war operations within a fortnight after military intelligence analysts discovered a beyond staggering plot by the United States and Turkish government factions to bring down Turkey's president Recep Erdogan and replace him with CIA designated figurehead Fethullah Gulen, while at the same time utilizing Islamic State terrorists as leverage. So, yeah, what does it mean? They write a lot of rubbish, and some of you might have heard of them. But they wrote this on December 2nd, saying that the U.S. was plotting to overthrow Erdogan in Turkey and replace him with Fethullah Gulen. So come back, forward now into the future, or just presently. And USA Today article, July 18th, Turkey blames U.S. for coup attempt. So, and it says, Erdogan, the president, demands that the United States extradite Gulen, who has lived in Pennsylvania since 1999, but the U.S. insists Turkey first provide evidence of Gulen's complicity in the takeover attempt. That has created renewed tensions between the two NATO allies. So, very ironic that NATO is like a treaty between countries, defense treaty, and basically the basic tenet of NATO is that if hostile nation attacks a NATO member, that NATO will defend that country. So it's ironic. I'm not saying, I don't know, probably we'll never know who really was behind this coup, but looking at this information, it seems like the U.S. might have been behind this coup. So that's ironic, because U.S. is a NATO country, Turkey is a NATO country, and you've got a NATO country trying to overthrow the government of another NATO country, and you've got actually Russia helping this country or the president avert the coup, which is quite amazing, and this "What Does It Mean" article from July 17th saying that Putin saved Erdogan's life. They basically say that the Russian military helped Erdogan. So, not far-fetched. They were saying that on December 2nd, 2015, that they were prepared for this. So, it's not really outlandish conspiracy theory, in my opinion. It could be fact. And the reason I want to bring up the Rio Olympics, that they start on the 5th of August, so, you know, we're only less than a month away. And yesterday, there was a headline that came out, or news, and it says, "Russian doping, Olympics dream in the balance." So basically now the IOC is saying that the Russian government is sponsoring doping of its athletes, and that Russia might be banned from the Rio Olympics. And that came out yesterday, July 19th. It seems a little bit, you know, the timing just smells, you know, you've had the Turkey attempt, coup attempt in Turkey, Erdogan blaming the Americans. What does it mean saying that the Russians actually helped Erdogan, saved his life? So, quite amazing stuff. I have to say, I don't know what to believe anymore in the world. There's so much disinformation, in my opinion, but this seems quite interesting to me. Will be interesting to, you know, when the Soviets invaded Afghanistan in 1979, they were, you know, the Americans boycotted the Moscow Olympics in 1980. If you also remember in 2008, during the Beijing Olympics, there was that incident that Russia had to go into Indonesia or North of Ossetia. I forgot exactly where. You know, so always seems to be some kind of trouble. And the markets, of course, you know, we continue to go higher in the Dow. It's, what time is it? It's 11 a.m. London, so it's, you know, 6 a.m. New York. The futures are trading, and the Dow is actually up 71 points. I haven't really read why we're up so much. And the S&P is up 8 points at 2172. So, you know, I know I made a video yesterday about the non-confirmation, and I still stick to that. One of the viewers and subscribers sent me a couple of charts, and I'll show them to you now. So the first chart here is a chart of present day Dow Jones Industrial Average. As you can see, we've got the drop after Brexit, and then we've got where we are today, and then there's a blue line going higher. And then the other chart brings the Dow back in 1929. And if you take the blue line from the previous chart and superimpose it on the Dow chart, you can see that we're actually could go higher until the beginning of August. And that was the beginning of September, I guess, in 1929. And we know that was the top in 1929, and then you had the crash in October. So I'm not saying that's going to happen. The other thing I could say about the markets, you know, if what's happening in Turkey, what's happening with supposedly Russia, according to What Does It Mean, and the U.S., is it possible that we could have a war? I mean, things are heating up. There was an article the other day, I think yesterday, from Xinhua, the Chinese news agency, stating that the vice chairman of the military or the army in China told, you know, his subordinates to be prepared for war. So one thing I thought is that in 1914, prior to World War One, no, I think it was, yeah, prior to World War One starting, Jesse Livermore got a premonition because one of his friends dropped his hat at a train station, and he picked it up for him, and his initials were WAR, and he thought, oh, He thought there was going to be a war, so he bought the stock market because war is big business. So could it be that, the stock market is so strong because, there's going to be a big war in the world? Or could we be near the top, like the chart says, that we're following 1929? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm just trying to analyze information and try to, forecast, have some idea of what might happen. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Take care. Bye.